98 Not Out, sponsored by Shepherd Neame, proud supporters of cricket in Essex.
Right, so if you were watching TV on any channel, if you were reading any newspaper, looking at any website last weekend, you would have seen there's some important news broken that Surrey Cricket Club, they have been running this programme for a little while, but it took a big step forward last weekend, and fronted by the determined efforts of Ebony Rainsford Brent, the ACE programme, African Caribbean Engagement Programme, has been given charitable status, and they've been given a grant, and they had a big push forward, and we are very, very proud to say that we are joined by the programme's Director of Programming, Mr. Chevy Green. Chevy, how are you?
Hi, Darren.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for having me on 98 Not Out. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about ACE on your station.
Oh, you're getting feedback, aren't you? There you go. It looks a fantastic thing, and really, really well coordinated. We're really pleased to have you along because lots and lots to talk about. So it's a project designed really to increase opportunities for members of the black community. Now, when I was a kid, it wasn't really a problem, and
because you were rubbish.
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah. It has been an issue over the last, 15-20 years that there's been a disappearance of black players on the whole cricketing scene. What would you say was the reasons for that, Chevy?
You know, I think there's a various reasons that could be pinned down to probably a lack of support from the ECB and other counties, also a lack of support from the community as well. I think what I say about the ECB and the counties, I think that, as you mentioned, 15-20 years ago, there was a high number of players playing. So if you suddenly saw, a drop-off of a big part of your community and you didn't do anything about it, that's why we're here 15-20 years later. Darren and Paul, I imagine if your fan base, your listeners, if you had a 75% drop-off slowly, you would do something about it because you had a bulk of 75% of people listening, and you'd question why have they stopped listening. So it's the same for cricket, Yeah. I think those questions were asked, that why are we not engaging more? Why aren't we seeing the players keep coming through? So hopefully through ACE, maybe some might say 15, 20 years, maybe more years later, we're here to try and change that.
One of the questions I would ask about that is that you had a lot of people coming over from the Caribbean, particularly in the old days, in the 60s and 70s, and the kids of, I'm a good example of that. And my dad came here in 1961, and they obviously had a rich cricketing tradition, and then that was fed on to their kids. And then I think as that emigration has sort of declined, and the kids, the next generation of kids have been more into other sports, might that be a reason, do you think, as well?
Yeah, it plays a part. It does play a part, but we've seen where other sports have continued to grow their participation base. Football, and you look at a sport like rugby. They didn't have that same historical attachment to from the Caribbean community to rugby as they do for cricket. But we've seen a drop off in cricket, but we've seen a great rise in rugby. So I think yes, parentally that generational gap might have played a part. And maybe there was a bit of a focus on, attaching some of these children from this country to the West Indies players like it was before. But I think that changed, and I think there was enough black English players playing for England that maybe wasn't celebrated enough to create those role models for young children coming up to aspire to.
And I guess because there is, if I'm going back sort of probably 5 or 10 years ago now, and this isn't in the UK, this is over in the West Indies, but there was a big fear, wasn't there, that young players were turning their back on cricket for the more lucrative basketball opportunities.
Football,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now I know that's a slightly different situation, but I guess it's probably the same sort of concern.
But you could relate it, I guess, to football. There's a lot of role models in football, and you see a lot of young players coming through and seeing the opportunities they're getting, young black players coming through playing football. So parents might have seen that as a way to, with all the role models and aspirations they've seen there, a chance to feel like football maybe is a pathway for them, and maybe there wasn't enough done on some of the the black British players playing here to try and infuse that same kind of aspirations and model. But yeah, no, you're right. A lot of children, young black children, not all, don't want to generalise too much, but come from some hardship, and football's a massive exit route when you can earn up to 100, 200, 300 grand a week.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Ebony's spoken quite powerfully about this, and you've been given a lot of support initially by Surrey, and I know a lot of you guys are connected with Surrey, have got a history with Surrey. And where the Oval is situated, you are right in the heartland. I mean, I remember when I was a youngster going to watch England versus the West Indies at the Oval, and it was like, you might as well have been in Barbados or Jamaica or somewhere, because there was a huge West Indian crowd that was there. I mean, and going to areas like Brixton, Stockwell, you had these big West Indian communities, and I think to a large extent today, I mean, things have changed slightly, but I think what Ebony said is that there are 30,000 kids walk past the gates of the Oval every day.
30,000 11 to 18-year-olds walking past in this local area, and unfortunately, some wouldn't even know that this is a cricket stadium.
Yeah,
and you're in the heart of a black community, and for however many years we haven't seen many black players come through. And it's trying to address that. I think sport and cricket needs to reflect society. If you've got a borough that is mostly black, nearly 50% as a borough black, then that should be represented in the activities and everything you do, and cricket should reflect that as well. And for whatever reason, I know the ECB say, as part of the Inspire Generations tagline, cricket is a game for me. There'll be many, young black children walking past the Oval and other grounds that doesn't maybe feel that way. So we want to try and infuse that and empower the young people to feel like cricket is a game for them, and give them opportunities.
So what are ACE doing to redress this balance? What are the kind of things that you're doing to bring the kids in?
Yeah, so we've got kind of three main strands to what we want to try and do. We've got a talent pathway set up where we're trying to engage in the local schools, create local hubs in a targeted approach where boroughs, just like Lambeth, have a higher black population. And it doesn't mean we're going to exclude anyone who's not black. We're going to be working with everyone. ACE stands at the moment for African Caribbean engagement, but where we're looking to move things is accelerated change empowerment. We just want to empower all the young people that comes through. But for us, with where the Elite Academy comes in, if we do spot some talented young black players, we'd like to support them with extra training, one-to-one and group sessions, and support their development that way as part of just giving them additional practice that they may not get, because a lot of the players we've come across, attend state schools, so they don't get the same exposure of 3 to 4 training sessions that some of the private school kids get. So it's just trying to bridge that gap through our scholarship program. And also we want to work, with our workforce development. We want to try and engage some more volunteers, get some new coaches, and just really support the community that way, and a bit of mentoring for the players and parents involved in the whole program. Yeah,
because I guess if you cast your mind back to, programs that we used to watch as kids, and something like Grange Hill, for example, there'd always be some stumps painted on the wall.
Yeah.
I guess you see that less and less now, because it's jumpers for goalposts or whatever. It's going, like you say, Chevy, it's going more towards football. So we need to kind of wrestle that back a little bit and say, look, hey, everyone can play cricket. Come on, there's opportunities for everyone, and actually we're going to proactively make those opportunities.
Yeah, for us, like in Lambeth, there's just down the road in Stockwell, and Vauxhall, just stones throw away from the Oval as well. There's a massive Portuguese community. So even we want, like I said, we want to reflect the program to reflect and help these counties work with what's on their doorstep. And if I can get a young Portuguese kid, we engage them a lot through schools, but spot some talent and get them to think cricket is a game for them, as well as thinking they're the next Cristiano Ronaldo, and get them playing for a county somewhere. That would be just as a big achievement as well for me.
I used to play for Lambeth Cricket Club in the early 80s, because before I lived in Essex, we lived in South London, and Lambeth was on my clubs. I always remember playing at the Oval against a team, Brixton West Indians.
Oh, okay. How did you get on?
I was bowled out, man. I was bounced and then bowled.
The old 1-2.
Yeah, but we played that at the Oval, and they were good days. It's it's, that's the kind of thing we need to get back again. And that's,
The Oval has a great history, as you mentioned, and those teams of yesteryear, they even felt as players that playing at the Oval was like playing a home game. So the atmosphere there with the music and the instruments and everything else. So I just want what we want as part of ACE is just to make wherever we work in the cities we move to and work across to just be reflective of the community that they're in.
Yeah, I miss those days. A player presentation at Lambeth Town Hall, and then over to St Matthew's Church Hall for a bit of a dance afterwards.
And memory lane.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you what I like about this programme, which is really good. It's not what you're doing, which I think is really great, is it's not just about playing cricket. It's showing people a pathway of whether it's coaching, administration in the game, or even, if they try really hard, you can be a director of programs maybe one day.
Exactly. And
Not yet, though. That position's taken.
Okay, for us, that's the most important thing. We know with any sport, within cricket, you can be in an academy for 5-10 years even, but the percentages that go on to make it at professional level are small.
Yeah.
So we understand and we want to explain that from really manage those expectations, and show that you can do something else and still be involved in professional sport. Whether
Absolutely.
It's administration, management, director,
Yeah.
working on radio. Just like how you guys are. We do a lot of media stuff within sport. We all have a lot of organizations have Instagram, have their Twitter, have all the same social media platforms, and kids are amazing on these platforms. We've got a TikTok, in our environment, so they can get paid to do all the same things they do for fun and get paid to do it for free, but with a sporting element to it.
Yeah.
And that's the things we just want to create, that awareness, and show to them that you can be involved in sport and cricket, and it's not just about the playing side. There's many opportunities that you can get into.
You've got your strapline, haven't you? Supporting diverse talent from the grassroots to the elite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You've been doing your homework.
Well, listen, I have to when I have important guests on. I have to.
I guess you have to be careful with the word like elite, because cricket has been accused over the years of being elitist. So to use that in your strapline, I think it's absolutely right. It's the right term, but you don't want that to be misconstrued at all, do you?
No, we don't. We don't. But what we want to do is trying to get the young people that we work with to the highest level, and that's what we mean by the elite. And just creating those opportunities for us. We was quite fortunate. We had one young man who was very talented. Really talented. He only had 2 training sessions and 2 matches with us over the summer because of the dreaded COVID and the lockdown and everything else. But we didn't do anything within those 2 training sessions and 2 matches he played with us. To his ability. He was a very talented player, and our performance managers and performance directors saw him, and he ended up getting to play 2 games for the Surrey under-18s. So we're just trying to create opportunities and awareness that there are some talent out there. We will find them, and we want to give them an opportunity to progress at the highest level where they can.
Now, your organisation of this whole project is spot on. I can't fault it in any way. You've got some pretty heavyweight honorary patrons involved.
Yeah.
So, first of all, Sky Sports commentator Michael Holding.
Absolute legend.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on this show. Do me a favour and tell him, come on the show.
I'll try and put a word in for you.
Yeah, please do. Then you've got Sir Trevor McDonald. Wow.
Yeah.
What an absolute gentleman that man is. What a
legendary broadcaster.
Yeah.
You'd probably have him on the show as well, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. And then Roland Butcher, who we've had on the show. We have had Roland on.
That's good.
Yeah, we got him all the way from Barbados.
1 out of 3 so far.
But his role now is so he's like pretty similar to you, isn't he? He's like director of sports at the University of the West Indies, isn't he?
Yeah, so I think for us, it's, he's got a lot of knowledge through playing cricket over here and being the first black male, I should say, black male playing cricket.
We know who the female was.
We do indeed. A lot of love to Ebony.
Yeah.
So it's important to try and pay honour and to him and what he's achieved, and he's got a lot of experience in the grassroots world as well. So fantastic to have him involved. Then
you've got an Olympic gold medalist, Denise Lewis.
Yeah, we have inspiring woman she is, and all she achieved in athletics, and we just hope she'll help us, guide us, and inspire some more young women to get involved into what we're doing along with Ebony. And we, one day we want to try and get an equal balance of boys and girls for our whole program. And also for us with ACE, it started off with cricket, but we're already having a lot of discussions of how the model could be used to support other sports where they have a bit of trouble with underrepresented groups and trying to get their numbers up. So and someone like with her experience with athletics can help with those discussions and other.
And another lady you got involved is Sophia Dunkley.
Yeah, currently the only black player playing for England.
Yeah.
Recently, formerly of Middlesex and now of Surrey. So it's inspiring to have her as well to be that role model and guide us and give us tips on how we can engage more to get young females in, just like Denise Lewis and Ebony can as well. And she's current, she's playing.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of her own experiences that she's come across and will share through the program as well.
I see Alex Tudor and Lonsdale Skinner also involved.
Yeah.
Again, big names.
Very well. Yeah, two people I know very, very well personally and professionally. So can't have better representation than them for what they've done, and two South London boys helps with starting off in the South London project.
And Alex Tudor has been on the show as well. That's another one.
Oh, there you go.
And then I see there's this other bloke who plays guitar and sings a bit and used to play.
Comes on some radio stations.
He's a massive friend of this show, and he's been on a couple of times. And of course, I'm just joking, but I mean, again, another legend, Mr. Mark Butcher.
Yeah, huge legend, and another big advocate. With everything that's been going on this summer and the coverage that Sky's been doing, and another fantastic role model. That we want to showcase a lot of these ambassadors where they've played cricket professionally, and also they're now in the media. And, just different options that you can. They've gone down that route playing, but you can get to that media route without playing. But it just shows you the influence that they can have and the careers they've had. We're talking about international cricket players.
Yeah.
For some of them that have achieved at the highest level.
Well, they'd also have first-hand experience of some of the downsides as well. They'll have dealt with some of the issues that you're trying to combat.
Of course. And, some of those are deep-rooted issues that they've faced, and some still struggle with today when you speak with them. So, trying to change for the next generation is what we want to do. We don't want these stories, I don't want to be sitting here talking with you. I'd love to be talking with you in 20 years, but not about the same thing. I want to be talking about how the trouble players have faced, and they're still having those same issues, and that's what we want to try and combat. So
I think that's inspirational for the kids as well, because while they may look at these people, the boys and the girls, they may look at them and say, oh, they're superstars, and I think it's good for them to understand that it just didn't happen by accident, and the struggle and the fight. I mean, apart from just working at your game, working at whether it's cricket, athletics, whatever, but also the issues that they had to deal with maybe aren't that different from some of the stuff that these kids deal with on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, no, one of the things I like to say is a quote I like to use a lot of the young people I work with is never let the shadow of a failure block the sunlight of success. So, in life you're going to go through different challenges, and it's just how you overcome them. And we've got some really inspirational, talented young people on our program at the moment, and we're looking to get some more involved, and they can learn from the experiences that these great, amazing ambassadors and patrons have gone through, and just to help develop and carve their own way in the game.
And you've got some heavyweight names from the actual administrative world of cricket as well. Obviously Richard Gould at Surrey, but Tom Harrison, the ECB CEO, is on board as well.
Yeah, not everyone's supportive, and to be honest, I can't speak highly of someone, like Richard Gould. These things, these changes that happen, doesn't happen from people buying in at the top. Many people can go with different ideas in loads of different industries, and you take it to the top person, it could get blocked. Not everyone's open-minded, but Richard was very open-minded in the approach. There's a lot of thought out and planning that's gone through to get ACE to where it was, and thank the support. There's a massive connection, but that started because it started here at the Oval with Surrey, but it's allowed us to now become an independent charity and try and take it nationally. So, which we'll be doing from January 2021 in Birmingham. So, and with that national presence, the ECB helped with that as well. So it's great to have the support of two figureheads within the game, someone like Richard Gould and Tom Harrison from the ECB.
So, Chevy, what can we be doing at proper grassroots level to help with this?
what you guys can be doing for us is just keep promoting, get us back on, promote when we're hoping to have some trials. We're challenging different people we speak to in the media. Obviously, Ebony's got a massive media presence, and we're just trying to see who can get the most ace scholars or ace trialists to come along. And if they come through 98 not out, then we'll be all over that. We have to give you a lot of praise. But just keep supporting the program, keep supporting what we're doing, and if any players in Essex, East London, we're going to be doing some work with the guys at Essex and East London. We've had some initial discussions of taking Ace over to that side of the world, potentially out of the Leighton Indoor Hub Centre that you've got down there.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a lot of stuff around East London, working with different partners, and Essex will be one of them. So any players, just keep an eye out, get in touch. You can find us on our website at aceprogram.com, on Instagram at ace.program. Please just any players that you come across or you hear through the leagues, your community contacts, and we're open to working with anyone, so please just keep supporting.
Well, Darren and I are both chairmen of our respective clubs here in Essex, so I'm sure I speak for both of us when I say we'll absolutely be promoting this.
No, please.
And happy to have some of you guys come down and present as well, and just spread the word.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course, more than happy to. And this ACE moving forwards relies on strong relationships and community partnerships, so at all levels. So more than happy to where we can get involved and help and talk to people just to spread the message. Any help you can do with that will be greatly appreciated.
Promise me you'll come back and give us an update in a couple of months' time of how you're getting on.
Of course, love to come back on.
Chevy, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. We're all over this, and we will support it, and we will get the word out, and we'll make sure that everyone that listens to 98 Not Out knows exactly about ACE. So just before you leave, just what is the website they've got to go and look at again?
So the website is www.aceprogram.com, and you can find us and follow us on Instagram at ace.program. Website www.aceprogram.com, Instagram ace.program.
Wonderful. Listen, all the best with this. I'm sure it's going to be a massive success, and we wish you well, and we'll keep a close watch and make sure that you hit the heights that you're trying to hit.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Paul.
Take it easy.
Cheers, Chevy.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.